Um, so the assignment sheet that you guys have, I did add 2 days to it, and we spread things out a little bit. So your test on this unit will be next Tuesday, okay? So it's not on Friday, it's not this week like it says on your assignment sheet, it'll be Tuesday. The IXL codes that you need to focus most heavily on are the ones that I've assigned for homework. But I do want you to be using any free time that you have, and even a little bit of at-home time if you have it, to work on the other codes because they will greatly benefit you on the test, okay? So let's get started for today. Yesterday we found the equation of a line if we were given a slope and a point on that line. Today we're going to be doing it from 2 points. You need 2 things to write the equation. You need to know what the slope is, and you need to know what the y-intercept is. Well, when I give you 2 points, you don't have any of that information. So I'm going to show you how to use 2 points to find both the slope and the y-intercept, okay? Okay, so here's our 2 points. The 2 formulas that you need to have in mind as you're working on this is our good old y equals mx plus b and the slope formula. You guys did really well on your quiz for the slope formula, so I know you know how to do it. You may just be a little rusty because we haven't used it in a few days, okay? So I'm going to put these, box them, and have them at the top of my notes so that we can refer back to it if we need to as we're working on the lesson today. Okay. Well, like I said, we need 2 things for our equation. We need the slope, we need the y-intercept. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the slope. So I'm going to label these x1, y1, x2, y2. And then I'm going to use my slope equation. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then this will be -3 on the top, -9 on the bottom. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and if I reduce 3/9, I get 1/3. Okay, here's my first key piece of information. The slope is 1/3. Now we're at the place we were yesterday. We know the slope, and we can use one of these 2 points to find the y-intercept. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll just pick the first point here, and I'm going to plug everything into the equation y equals mx plus b. So my y will be -1. My slope is 1/3, and my x is 3. And we don't know what the y-intercept is yet, so we'll just use that b to hold the place. So if I look at this, 1/3 of 3 is 1. So this is -1 is equal to 1 plus b. If I subtract 1 from both sides, I get that -2 is equal to b. So now I have the slope and the y-intercept, and I can write my equation. So my slope is 1/3. My y-intercept is -2. There we have it. So just given 2 points, we are able to find both the slope and the y-intercept and write that equation. Now, I'm going to show you mentally how to check your equation. Because no matter which point you used, it's the same line. It should have the same equation. We used this point to find the equation, so I'm going to use this point to check it. So if I plugged in -6 here, 1/3 of -6 is -2. -2 minus 2 is -4. So I know that this equation is correct. So if you just want to do a little mental check, Plug in the x and y for the second point into the equation that you wrote to make sure. It's a good practice, okay, to make sure you're good to go. So let's write down what we just did in steps so that you have it in your notes. Bless you. Okay, the first thing that we did is we found the slope. So your first step here is find the slope. Okay, we use the slope formula to do that. The second step, we will plug in m, x, and y to the equation y equals mx plus b. Once you have that information plugged in, you can solve for b so that you have your y-intercept. And now you have your two pieces of information. You have your slope and your y-intercept. So we're going to use that. So use m and b to write the equation. So if you're getting stuck in IXL, I'd recommend looking back and just making sure that you're following the steps. I'd also recommend not trying to do everything in your head when you're doing IXL. Paper really makes things go faster because then you don't make as many mistakes. Okay, I want to make sure you have this. So I'm going to have you practice it real quick, and I'm going to walk around. Okay, find the equation of the line between these 2 points. When you think you have the equation, check with the neighbor and see if they have the same equation as you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So pick either point. All right, what equations did you guys get? Say it out. Okay, y is equal to negative 2x plus 5? Okay, let me just make sure. Up here. Let me just make sure. So for our slope, we're going to subtract our y's, subtract our x's. Good, yeah, I got the same slope, -2. And then it doesn't matter which point you use, so I'll just use the first one. The y is 3, slope is -2, x is 1. I don't know what the y-intercept is. Yeah, good. I'm getting the y-intercept as 5 as well. So then the equation should be y is equal to -2x plus 5. Good. Okay, I'm going to cut you loose. You're working on IXL code AA11 today, and possibly catching up on your old IXL codes. When you finish, you can go and finish up other starred IXL codes. And if you finish all the starred IXL codes, you can go in and do the diagnostic, okay? Let me know if you have questions.